What's good, y'all? It's Intrinzik, and you are tuned in to Track Marks, the official behind-the-scenes channel for my brand new album, Lasers and Poison, available now at mmestore.com. Yo, what's good? It's Intrinzik, and today on Track Marks, we'll be talking about Losing My Mind featuring Twiztid.
My name's Elyea, and I'm the producer for Intrinzik's Lasers and Poison record. The song I want to talk about right now is Losing My Mind featuring Twiztid.
Now, when I approached George about getting Twiztid on the Lasers and Poison album, he gave me a couple reference tracks to sort of make the song sound like two of Twiztid's favorite influences. And so I talked to Larry, gave him those tracks. He came back with a super intricate beat that had programming, live drums, live guitar, piano, all sorts of parts.
That song started with the piano riff at the beginning, came up with that first, and then the beat just kind of started to develop.
I went back and forth with him a few times on the bridge, especially before delivering the beat to Jamie and Paul, and I just sort of gave it to them and waited. Now, while I was waiting, I wrote several choruses myself because the beat was just so catchy and it was in my head, and I had all these ideas for it. I didn't know who was going to do what.
Immediately, it felt more like a commercial poppier song to me, like almost a Linkin Park-ish kind of vibe.
So after having like several choruses in my head, I got Jamie's chorus back. I wasn't sure about it, believe it or not. So I gave it to Larry, I gave it to McNasty, and they were like, wow, bro, I don't know what you're thinking, but that hook is way better than the hooks you wrote. Anyway, I talked to McNasty, that's why I'm wearing the shirt right now, because he helped me kind of figure out the direction of the song. I said, I don't relate to this chorus because I'm not losing my mind. Like, I'm pretty grounded, I'm pretty sane. The music on Lasers and Poison is angry and it's not introspective. And he said, why don't you flip it and make it about how people thought you were losing your mind when really you were like transforming yourself. And so that was like, boom. I instantly loved the chorus from there because McNasty really inspired me and the verses came very easily.
Wanted to keep the verses pretty much straight hip hop and then explode into a big rock chorus. The beginning of the bridge is so creepy and cinematic and dark.
I wrote the song about how when I was working at a day job, I started fasting, I started doing yoga. They thought like I was losing tons of weight. That's why I say they try to call me a skeleton, trying to keep me held down in this living hell I'm in with them. So it was like me rising up above the whole like 9-to-5 culture or whatnot. And so the lyrics came very easily. I wrote the whole song after Jamie delivered the hook, but I saved that very intro of the bridge for Paul, and Paul killed it.
I wrote the verse and the chorus first, sent it to Will. He thought it might be too commercial and maybe too happy, I guess, for this record, since most of the record's pretty heavy and dark. I told him I could balance it out with the bridge, so we wrote a really heavy bridge. He ended up really liking that after that was completed, and he sent that off to the guys from Twiztid to guest on it. They did the chorus and the beginning of the bridge. Knocked it out of the park. The chorus is amazing. I think it's a hit song.
The bridge was pretty much cut, so you'll hear a little screaming, staggered screaming. There's a whole section we cut out of the bridge due to content. If you go to the UGH Bandcamp, we're gonna have the uncut version so you can hear that, but it went too long. The song was too long with that bridge, and it was the content was a little too aggressive and explicit. It talks about school shootings and mass shootings and stuff. So we pulled that out of the video version and the actual LP version. and kept it on the unreleased, uncut. It'll be on Bandcamp for sure. As Larry said, a little too poppy, doesn't fit the Lasers and Poison theme as much as the other songs, but I think it's a good departure. The hook is just giant. The hook is amazing. It's very just, and then I added my little yelling on top of the hook. Draven did the visuals, which is an amazing visual to go with the song. I wanted a video with the guys, but the schedules were too hectic. That's Losing My Mind on Lasers and Poison. It's track number 10. You can get it at mnestore.com right now. And also Bandcamp. Check out for the Bandcamp release. It'll have uncut versions.
Really love this track. It's one of my favorites on the record. And that's Losing My Mind on Intrinzik's Lasers and Poison.
One final thing I want to add. I wanted to do a track with Twiztid and not use them on verses because I wanted people to be like, damn, he could have done a whole track with Twiztid on the verses and he just has Paul on a tiny bridge part and Jamie on the chorus. I didn't want to rely on Twiztid's verses to carry the song. I wanted to shine on the verses to show people, who just heard about me that I'm a good lyricist and rapper, and also I wanted to shine on the song. Then someone be like, oh, Paul and Jamie killed it, but Intrinzik was weak. Or when people have a song with Twiztid and they only listen, or a big feature and they only listen to that song for the big feature. I wanted to be the big feature and have them as just little spice, and spices added in, little nuggets for the ears and the dome piece. So that's Losing My Mind. That's track number 10 on Lasers and Poison, available at mnestore.com, baby.
Dance so eloquently with the devils that they feed you. Slaves